Thank you all for listening and watching my videos. Please subscribe and like my channel Master Coolitz. Hoping that you will not skip my ads, it's a big help for me by not skipping it. Thank you so much. Dragon Shadow. The Rise.
The interior of the Black Tower was a level of its own, isolated from the outside world. As Zane Martel and Gabriel Stone stepped through the door, the oppressive heat enveloped them, making breathing hard. A staircase, as dark as the tower itself, spiraled upwards ahead of them. The air was thick with tension and the scent of sulfur, every breath a struggle against the stifling atmosphere.
Release me.
A thunderous boom echoed through the tower. A cage crackled with wild lightning at the end of the staircase, trapping a middle-aged man. His hair was tangled, his face smeared with dirt. He pounded the walls with relentless force, his desperation a palpable energy reverberating through the stone walls. Despite his efforts, the cage repaired itself instantly. Similar cages lined each floor, holding prisoners captured by the Goodwill sect. Some were vicious criminals, others unfortunate adversaries. The air was filled with distant roars and metal clanging, creating a symphony of despair that resonated through the tower.
Hey, you there! You're not from the Goodwill sect. How did you get in?
Zane Martel paused, the prisoner's gaze piercing through him. A chill ran down his spine, the weight of their situation pressing down on him.
Kid, I don't care who you are. Get me out of here now.
Zane Martel, don't bother with him. Let's move on.
Their presence didn't go unnoticed. Prisoners reached out, pleading, bargaining, their voices a cacophony of desperation and hope.
Let me out. I'm an elder of the Divine Soldier sect.
Help me, and I'll give you anything you want.
Zane Martel knew he couldn't waste time. He had to find Gabriel Stone's cage and rescue Alora before the ceremony began. The urgency of his mission pounded in his ears, a relentless drumbeat driving him forward.
Hey, asshole! Didn't you hear me? Release me, or I'll kill you.
A vortex formed in the prisoner's hand, aimed at Zane Martel. The air crackled with energy, the threat tangible. Zane Martel caught the vortex effortlessly, shocking the prisoner. The display of power left the prisoner stunned, his bravado crumbling.
Hey, kid, let me out.
With a flick of his finger, Zane Martel unleashed a deadly sword energy, silencing the prisoner forever. Blood pooled in the cage, the other prisoners falling silent, retreating in fear.
Zane Martel, let's go.
As they ascended, a faint voice warned them.
Don't go up there. You can't afford to offend those above.
Ignoring the warning, they pressed on. Each level of the tower revealed stronger prisoners. On the first level, the captives were at the peak of the heavenly energy level. By the fourth floor, the prisoners were in the expert level, bound by thick chains, their vital energy depleted. The oppressive atmosphere grew heavier with each step, the air thick with tension and the scent of old magic. Finally, they reached the fifth floor. The heat was unbearable, distorting the very air around them. Flames roared, and the oppressive heat bore down on them, turning the very atmosphere into a living entity of torment. Deep within the heart of the Black Tower, surrounded by boiling lava, stood a single cage. Inside, an old man knelt, his white hair cascading over his muscular frame. Though his face was hidden, his presence was formidable, a testament to his enduring strength and spirit. Zane Martel felt the oppressive force emanating from the old man even from a distance. It was as if the very air around him vibrated with power, making it hard to stand, let alone approach. The old man raised his head, his eyes blazing like stars in the night sky. Their gazes met and Zane Martel's body trembled, his eyes stinging with pain. This was the real Gabriel Stone, a man whose very presence commanded respect and fear.
Zane Martel, you are finally here.
Zane Martel's heart raced. He bowed slightly, his voice respectful but urgent. The moment's weight pressed down on him, the significance of this meeting not lost on him.
How did you know I was coming?
Gabriel Stone's eyes flicked to the puppet beside Zane Martel, a flicker of recognition in his gaze.
My martial spirit remnant soul is with you. I've felt its presence since it was released from the Liu family's underground cave. I know what you've done and what's happened.
Zane Martel nodded, astonished by the connection. The puppet shook, and a small red sword emerged from its head. Simultaneously, a larger, more powerful sword appeared above Gabriel Stone. The air hummed with energy, the convergence of their spirits a spectacle of raw power. Zane Martell estimated Gabriel Stone's strength was near the legendary Martial King level, just a step below the Martial Royal level. The realization sent a thrill through him, a mix of awe and anticipation. As the two swords merged in midair, the puppet weakened and collapsed. Gabriel Stone's body surged with power, his limbs expanded, and he grasped the chains binding him. The very air around him seemed to pulse with his strength.
Are you trying to keep me with these runes? If my martial spirit was incomplete, maybe, but now, in your dreams.
With a deafening roar, Gabriel Stone ripped the chains apart. The cage shuddered and exploded, the force of his liberation a testament to his unyielding spirit. Gabriel Stone stood free as the dust settled, his power radiating through the tower. The very stones seemed to hum with his energy, the oppressive atmosphere now charged with a new, potent force. What would they face next in this treacherous tower? And how would they confront the unseen dangers that awaited above? As thick and oppressive as the heat, the questions hung in the air, each step forward a journey deeper into the unknown. The tower loomed above them, each floor a new test, each step a further descent into darkness. The prisoners they left behind watched in silence, their hopes and fears bound to the fate of these two intruders. The tower walls seemed to close in, the weight of their mission pressing down on them with relentless force. Zane Martell's mind raced, thoughts of Elora and the impending ceremony driving him forward. He could not afford to fail. The stakes were too high, the consequences too dire. The weight of his responsibility bore down on him, each step a reminder of the lives depending on his success. The higher they climbed, the more oppressive the atmosphere became. The walls seemed to pulse with dark energy, the air thick with the scent of ancient magic. The very essence of the tower was a testament to the power and cruelty of the Godwill sect, a monument to their twisted dominance. The fifth floor loomed ahead, a gateway to the final challenge. The heat intensified with each breath, a struggle against the oppressive air. Flames roared around them, turning the air into a living, breathing entity of torment. Deep within the heart of this inferno, the cage awaited. The old man within was a beacon of power and defiance, his presence starkly contrasting the desolation around him. Zane Martell steeled himself, the significance of this moment not lost on him. As the old man raised his head, the intensity of his gaze bore into Zane Martell, a challenge and a promise. This was the real Gabriel Stone, a man whose very existence defied the confines of his prison.
Zane Martell, you are finally here.
Zane Martell's heart pounded in his chest, a mix of fear and determination coursing through him. He bowed slightly, his voice a blend of respect and urgency.
How did you know I was coming?
Gabriel Stone's eyes flicked to the puppet beside Zane Martell, a knowing look in his gaze.
My martial spirit remnant soul is with you. I've felt its presence since it was released from the Liu family's underground cave. I know what you've done and what's happened.
Zane Martell nodded, his mind racing with the implications. The puppet shook, and a small red sword emerged from its head. Simultaneously, a larger, more powerful sword appeared above Gabriel Stone. The air vibrated with the convergence of their spirits, a testament to the power they commanded. Zane Martell felt a thrill of anticipation. Gabriel Stone's strength was immense, a force just shy of the legendary Martial Royal level. The realization filled him with both awe and determination. As the two swords merged in midair, the puppet weakened and collapsed. Gabriel Stone's body surged with power. His limbs expanded, the very air around him pulsing with his strength. He grasped the chains binding him, his defiance a tangible force.
Are you trying to keep me with these runes? If my martial spirit was incomplete, maybe, but now, in your dreams.
With a roar that shook the very foundations of the tower, Gabriel Stone ripped the chains apart. The cage exploded, a testament to his unyielding spirit and power. Gabriel Stone stood free as the dust settled, his power radiating through the tower. The air itself seemed to hum with his energy, a force of nature unleashed upon the world. What awaited them in the depths of this treacherous tower? The questions loomed large, each step forward a journey into the unknown, each breath a challenge against the oppressive air. The path ahead was fraught with danger, but Zane Martell and Gabriel Stone pressed on, driven by the unyielding force of their mission. In In the heart of the Goodwill sect's Forbidden Mountain, a fierce sword vigor, cloaked in scorching flames, pierced the sky. Finally released, Gabriel Stone unleashed an aura so terrifying that the air seemed to tremble. Meanwhile, deep within the sect's secret grounds, Sebastian, engrossed in his sinister preparations for the Purple Pole heaven-stealing formation, felt a jolt of fear ripple through his body.
Gabriel Stone, released? Damn it, this has Zane Martel written all over it, that bastard.
Sebastian's frustration boiled over, his eyes bloodshot and wild with rage. He turned to the three women bound before him, malice seeping from his every pore. At the center, the stunning Alora sat defiantly, flanked by two terrified women of similar age.
Scared? Good, you should be. With the Purple Pole spiritual body, your talents belong to me.
A twisted smile spread across Sebastian's face. His eyes gleamed with a deadly intent as he slapped Alora hard across her cheek. Blood trickled from the corner of Alora's mouth, her cheek a fiery red from the impact.
Why is Zane Martel so obsessed with you? It doesn't matter. I'll kill you right after I've used you. That fool will learn the cost of defying me.
Elora, despite the pain, spat defiantly at Sebastian.
How pathetic, First Elder. Zane Martel will come. Your plot will never succeed.
Sebastian's fury surged, his face twisted in anger as he struck her again.
Zane Martel. Everyone keeps talking about him. He's nothing but trash from the Five Spirit sect. Without Gabriel Stone, he's nothing to fear.
As Sebastian's rage echoed through the cavernous chamber, a sense of dread hung thick in the air. Would Zane Martel arrive in time to save Alora? Or would Sebastian's malevolent plans come to fruition, extinguishing the last hope for the Purple Pole spiritual body? Deep in the heart of the Forbidden Mountain, Sebastian's voice echoed ominously, a sinister promise laced with power.
Humph, I'll activate the Purple Pole heaven-stealing formation now. Your talent will be a stepping stone for me to improve my realm.
He turned away with an evil grin, resuming his dark preparations. The air was thick with dread as the two other girls sobbed, their voices trembling with fear.
Are we really going to die? I don't want to die.
I don't want to die.
Elora, her face bruised but her spirit unbroken, spoke with fierce determination.
Don't worry. Nothing will happen to us. I believe Zane Martel will come and rescue us.
In the dark recesses of the Black Tower, Zane Martel handed a storage ring to Gabriel Stone, his voice filled with awe as he regarded the formidable warrior.
Senior, can I ask you what your realm is?
Gabriel Stone, his upper body bare, muscles rippling with latent power, responded with a calm yet powerful presence.
I was at the Martial King realm during my peak, but now, I guess I'm only at the 7th stage of the expert level.
Zane Martel's eyes widened in shock. The Martial King realm, unmatched in the Seven Kingdoms Alliance and the entire Eastern Palm.
Let's go. Since I'm released, it's time for me to exercise my muscles and joints.
They left the Black Tower, Gabriel Stone hovering effortlessly, a scarlet longsword in his hand. Zane Martel looked on, curiosity and anticipation in his gaze.
Senior, what are you...
Since I'm released, I have to make more trouble for the Goodwill sect.
With a casual wave of his hand, a sword light hundreds of meters long slashed through the air, obliterating the Black Tower's chains and splitting it in two with a deafening boom. As the tower crumbled, hundreds of prisoners long confined burst from the ruins, their voices a chorus of relief and fury.
Ha ha ha, I'm finally out. Great.
This damned Black Tower has trapped me for so long. How could I tolerate this? The Godwill sect. Let's get even now.
Amid the chaos, 4 or 5 powerful figures approached Zane Martel and Gabriel Stone, their energy radiating immense strength. They bowed deeply, their gratitude palpable.
We will repay you for releasing us from our suffering.
That's right. Is there anything you wish for us to help you with?
The air crackled with potential, each moment charged with the promise of rebellion and retribution. As the newly freed prisoners swore their loyalty, the stakes grew ever higher. Would Zane Martel and Gabriel Stone's plan succeed, or would the Goodwill sect find a way to retaliate? Chaos erupted within the Godwill sect as freed prisoners wreaked havoc. Amidst the turmoil, Zane Martel stood resolute, surrounded by those who owed him their freedom.
No matter what, we are respectful elders of our sects. We must repay your kindness as your elders.
Yes, we will spare no effort as long as it's something we can help out with.
Zane Martel's expression softened, then hardened with resolve.
In that case, help me kill everyone of the Godwill sect who gets in my way.
Sure, that's a deal.
Haha, great. I've been waiting to kill the Godwill sect for a long time.
Let's kill to our heart's content.
They scattered, hunting the disciples of the Godwill sect with relentless fury. Not far away, a prisoner cornered a young disciple of the Godwill sect. The boy's terror was palpable.
Bastards of the Godwill sect, where do you think you're escaping?
You! Who are you? This is a war between the Godwill sect and Dark Wolf Hall. Why are you—
Die.
With a brutal slap, the disciple's head exploded, his lifeless body crumpling to the ground. Similar scenes played out across the sect. The expert-level prisoners reached the gate of the Goodwill sect, launching a merciless assault. Bryce Jackson, a prominent figure within the sect, was stunned to see the familiar faces of his old enemies.
Logan Storm, Chen Ying, Damian Black. Why are you guys here? Shouldn't you be imprisoned in the Black Tower? You...
Ha ha ha. Bryce Jackson, you didn't expect that we would be able to see the daylight again, did you?
The Black Tower has collapsed. Your old-time enemies are now released. Ha ha ha.
Get ready for our revenge.
Damian Black, the leader of the prisoners, laughed wildly.
The Black Tower has collapsed? Could it be that Gabriel Stone...
Bryce Jackson's body trembled at the thought, realizing the scale of their predicament. Meanwhile, Gavin Owens, another key figure, pieced together the events.
Beat them up. Don't let anyone escape. Kill them.
He charged at Bryce Jackson, initiating a fierce battle. Bryce Jackson and Gavin Owens, the most powerful figures in their respective sects, clashed with a force that shook the very ground. The fight raged on, each strike echoing the high stakes of their conflict. Would Zane Martel and Gabriel Stone's plan succeed, or would the Godwill sect find a way to retaliate? The answers lay in the next move, each decision a step towards an uncertain destiny. The Forbidden Mountain awaited the clash of titans, where heroes and villains would face their fates. It was a tense moment in the Goodwill sect. Zane Martel's heart pounded as he faced Gabriel Stone.
Senior.
Gabriel Stone immediately caught Zane Martel's urgency.
All right, let's go.
With a wave of Gabriel Stone's hand, a fiery red sword light enveloped Zane Martel. They soared at an incredible speed towards the back mountain of the Goodwill sect. The air cracked with a sonic boom, showcasing Gabriel Stone's astonishing swiftness, 10 times faster than Zane Martel could ever manage. Zane Martel marveled at the former Martial King-level martial artist's prowess. Gabriel Stone, despite being trapped in the Black Tower, knew the Godwill sect's layout intimately. Within seconds, they covered dozens of kilometers, halting mid-air over a desolate forest. The distant sound of running water reached Zane Martel's ears.
Is that a waterfall? Sebastian must be nearby.
Zane Martel's brows furrowed as he recalled Callan's intel. Sebastian had hidden the women behind a waterfall cave in the forbidden area. Steeling himself, Zane Martel bellowed into the air.
Bastard Sebastian, come out and die.
His voice echoed through the forest, reaching the waterfall where Sebastian hid. Sebastian trembled, his eyes wide with fear.
How did they find this place so quickly? Damn it, I'm almost done with the Purple Pole Heaven-stealing formation.
Desperation laced Sebastian's voice as he glanced at the 3 captive women, including Alora.
Forget it, since I'm almost done, I might as well hold the ceremony now. If they find me, I'm doomed.
Sebastian's expression twisted with malevolence as he turned to the women.
What are you trying to do?
Elora's defiance did not deter him.
What am I doing? Ha ha ha, I'm sacrificing you to reach my breakthrough. Even if I can't defeat Gabriel Stone, I need to break through. My level has been stagnant too long.
Grabbing their hair, Sebastian dragged them into the formation he'd prepared on the smooth ground.
Zane Martel! Zane Martel! I'm here! Zane Martel!
Her desperate cries joined those of the other women.
We're here. I don't want to die. Hurry up and save us.
Sebastian's face darkened. He stormed over and slapped them viciously, their faces splitting with blood. Sebastian cursed loudly, his voice echoing through the cavernous space.
Bitches, are you trying to get Gabriel Stone to kill me? Humph, I know you want me dead. But unfortunately, you'll die before I do.
Sebastian snickered, revealing an eerie smile. His hands moved rapidly, forming a complex seal. The ground began to shake and a purple light rose, soaring into the sky. The purple light pillar pierced through the stone ceiling above, exposing their location in the cave. But Sebastian seemed unfazed and even laughed wildly.
Ha ha ha. I'm finally done with the Purple Pole Heaven-Stealing Formation. Your Purple Pole spiritual body talents will become stepping stones for me to become stronger.
Zane Martel and Gabriel Stone snapped back to their senses as they noticed the strange scene in the sky.
They're here. Quick.
Zane Martel anxiously rushed over and soon appeared in front of Sebastian and Elora.
Elora.
Zane Martel's body trembled when he saw Elora. It had been a year since she was taken away from the peace negotiation hall. When she saw Zane Martel, Elora's delicate body trembled and tears rose. However, she forcefully endured her emotions and spoke with a smile.
Zane, I knew you would come.
Zane Martel nodded heavily and quickly focused on Sebastian. The person who had separated them forcefully was Sebastian.
Ha ha ha, Zane Martel, you're a little late. Once the Purple Pole Heaven-Stealing Formation is activated, no one can stop it. Your woman will soon die in front of you. Isn't it exciting? I know it's touching. Thank me quickly.
Sebastian laughed wildly as Zane Martel struck out a few cyan sword energies, colliding with the shield around the four people. But the shield blocked the attack.
You.
Zane Martel was shocked. His sword energy was powerful enough to challenge someone of the 8th stage of the advanced level, yet the array in front of him was unscathed.
It's been a while. Sebastian, I've missed you.
Outside the cave, a burly old man with his bare torso entered. It was Gabriel Stone.
You have escaped, Gabriel Stone.
Sebastian's expression turned gloomy but quickly changed as he laughed wildly.
Ha ha ha. So what if you escaped? Even you can't do anything to change the current situation. Just give up.
The air in the cave was thick with tension as Gabriel Stone gripped his long sword tightly. His vital energy exploded forth, the energy crackling around him. With a fierce cry, he brought the sword crashing down. The ground shook violently, and the entire cave split in half. Gravel and dust filled the air, creating a chaotic scene. Sebastian's expression shifted from shock to a grave realization as he retreated a few steps. His eyes locked on the Purple Pole Heaven-Stealing Formation.
Really?
When Sebastian saw that the formation remained intact, a relieved, unscrupulous smile spread across his face.
What the hell? A formation that even Gabriel Stone can't destroy? What is this thing?
Zane Martel's disbelief was palpable. Gabriel Stone, once a Marshal King-level powerhouse capable of dominating the Seven Kingdoms Alliance in Eastern Palm, couldn't break this strange formation.
Ha 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 ha, surprise. I'm sure you're surprised. Gabriel Stone, I've done much to refine you into a puppet serving the Goodwill Sect. Don't you regard that as art? For the sake of art, can't you sacrifice yourself for the bigger picture? If you were still in the Marshal King level, you might be able to make a change, but now your realm has fallen to the expert level. Sir, not to mention you alone, even if more than 100 people in the expert level worked together, you could never break the Purple Pole Heaven-Stealing Formation.
Sebastian's smugness was infuriating. Zane Martel's fists clenched in rage as he struck the formation shield repeatedly. Heavy sounds echoed, but the formation showed no sign of cracking. Then a ray of purple light bloomed within the formation. The light seeped out from the captive women, their auras growing weaker with each pulse.
No, it's starting to work.
The light condensed in the void, forming a wave that slowly poured into Sebastian's body. Sebastian shuddered, his eyes lighting up with triumph.
Ha ha ha, it's working. It's effective. The bottleneck that has troubled me for many years has finally begun to loosen.
Would Zane Martel and Gabriel Stone find a way to stop the formation in time? Or would Sebastian's sinister plan succeed, leaving them all doomed? In the heart of a crumbling cave, tension simmered like an unrelenting storm. Zane Martel's anxiety was palpable, his determination unyielding. As the minutes ticked by, Elora's plight grew increasingly dire. Zane Martel, with a silver body aglow, unleashed a ferocious onslaught against the shield. his punches echoing in rapid succession. Beside him, Gabriel Stone's sword slashed through the air, each strike a desperate bid to breach the barrier. The cave's ceiling trembled under the relentless assault, dust and debris swirling in a chaotic dance.
Sebastian, let them go. Spare your life and we won't harm you.
Sebastian, eyes darting between the two attackers, felt a flicker of hesitation. Yet with resolve hardening his features, he began to activate the purple pole heaven-stealing formation.
You think I'm a fool? I've been stuck in this realm my whole life. If I can break through, I don't mind dying. Let's see how the great Zane Martel reacts when he can't save the one he loves. Come on, Death, kill me if you can.
Elora's heart twisted as she saw Zane Martel's agony. She averted her gaze, fear of her own vulnerability keeping her from meeting his eyes.
Zane Martel!
Zane Martel's hatred burned like an inferno. Blood dripped from his battered fists, staining the shield. He was so close to Elora, yet so helpless. Watching her energy drain away, knowing she was becoming Sebastian's nourishment, tore at his soul. Gabriel Stone, too, felt the sting of helplessness, the sight of her comrades suffering kindling a rage within her. The formation was so solid that only experts above the Martial King realm could break it. A dense, murderous intent emitted from Zane Martel's body, shrouding the surrounding area. His rage was palpable, almost a tangible force in the cave. Zane Martel's thoughts were a whirlwind of violent desires. He wanted to pull Sebastian out and kill him 100 times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. He imagined tearing out Sebastian's organs, smashing his bones, feeding them to dogs, imprisoning Sebastian's martial spirit, torturing it day and night so he could never reincarnate. Changes began to manifest in Zane Martel's body. His irritation grew. His heart pounded furiously. Blood surged wildly through him, converging at the space between his eyebrows. His face flushed, veins bulged, making him look ferocious.
Ah!
A heart-wrenching pain stabbed through his forehead, as if something sharp was piercing his eyes. Blood flowed from his forehead, covering his face.
Blood? Could it be that something has happened to the mysterious vertical eye? Damn it, why now? Stop it now.
Despite his mental pleas, the pain intensified. Suddenly, a ray of dark light shot out from the pitch-black vertical eye behind his forehead. The light was so dark it seemed capable of swallowing everything. The black light exploded in the air, and a strange phenomenon occurred. The area lost its color, turning into a black and white world. The transformation spread quickly, draining the colors of the cave and even the outside world. The blue sky, green grass, red flowers, and white clouds turned black and white. It was eerie and unsettling. Zane Martel looked around in shock. In this monochrome world, he was the only one who retained his original color. More strangely, everything whose color had drained was now frozen in time. Objects, scenes, even the gravel falling from the stone wall above his head, all suspended in midair. In a world drained of color, Zane Martel stood alone, surrounded by the frozen forms of his friends and foes. The purple pole heaven-stealing formation loomed ominously around him, a constant reminder of the peril he faced.
Senior Gabriel Stone.
There was no response. Gabriel Stone, Elora, Sebastian, and the others remained motionless, their faces devoid of life. Zane Martel's voice echoed in the eerie silence of the black and white world.
Could this be the power of the vertical eye?
Trembling, Zane Martel approached the formation, his heart pounding. To his astonishment, he could now enter the barrier that had previously kept him out.
Although I don't know what's going on, I'm glad I finally got in. Can I try getting them out?
Holding his breath, Zane Martel carefully touched the still forms of the women. To his relief, they moved under his touch.
I can't.
Wasting no time, Zane Martel quickly moved the three ladies out of the formation. As he turned to leave, his gaze fell on Sebastian, the source of their suffering.
Didn't he tell me to come in and kill him? Well, as he wished.
Zane Martel pulled out dozens of palm-length daggers and a jade bottle containing a deadly poison. He smeared the poison on each blade, his hands steady despite the adrenaline coursing through him. He approached Sebastian's motionless body and stabbed the first dagger into his abdomen. Without his vital energy for protection, Sebastian's body was as vulnerable as any mortal's. Sebastian's laughter froze on his face. He did not react to the pain, his expression blank. Zane Martel continued, stabbing the remaining daggers into Sebastian's limbs and joints. The final dagger pierced his heart. With cold precision, Zane Martel took Sebastian's storage ring, sealing his fate. Suddenly, a sharp pain shot through Zane Martel's head, threatening to overwhelm him.
It's time already?
Zane Martel staggered out of the formation's range just as the world began to regain its color. The black and white realm faded, replaced by the vibrant hues of reality. As soon as the world was restored, a shrill scream echoed from the formation. Sebastian stared at his wounded body in disbelief.
What's going on? Why am I covered with daggers? You and you. When did you get out? How did you get out? Impossible. Why can't I recall anything?
The cave is filled with chaos and confusion. Zane Martel's heart raced as he faced the stunned expressions of his comrades and his enemy. What had just happened? The answers were elusive, hidden in the vertical eye's power mystery. The tension in the cave was palpable. Zane Martel stood on the brink of discovery, the weight of his actions pressing down on him. What would come next? The unknown awaited, shrouded in darkness and intrigue.